Hello, and thank you for joining me as we take a tour of one of my favorite tools, iBooks Author. Now, oftentimes when we think of books, or especially textbooks for the classroom, we often think static and boring. And let's face it, no one wants to stare at a mobile device. They want to interact with it, they want to hear and see things, and be an active participant in their learning. So, let's take a look at how iBooks Author can bring your static content to life. Now, if you're thinking, I don't have a Mac, so this is useless to me, think again. Book Creator just announced that they'll be releasing many similar features that are found in iBooks Author to their next update set to release soon. Let's begin by taking a quick look at the interface. Now, if you're familiar with Pages or Keynote, you're going to feel right at home. For example, one of the things you'll immediately notice is that the Inspector tool is right there in the top right-hand corner. Now, with the Inspector tool, this is where you can sort of edit your text, your images, anything you want to format or adjust in your book. The Inspector is always the place that's going to allow you to do that. Now, even if you've never used any of these products before, the software is incredibly welcoming and very intuitive and easy to use, so you're going to feel right at home. Now, on the left-hand side, we can see an outline of our book. You'll notice that there's a title page, and here in this example I'm going to be sharing one of my latest iBooks called Redesign Learning, where we take a look at some of my favorite apps for teaching and learning in the classroom. Now, right below it, there's an intro media, so if you'd like to add a video that will start playing as soon as somebody opens your book, you can add one in there. We then have our table of contents, which is going to show us the different chapters and the different sections in our book to allow people to navigate to the place that they want to begin reading at. Right below that now, you'll notice that we have our chapters and our sections. You can add as many chapters and sections as you like, and it's always a great idea to have these organized and to sort of know how you want to set up your book before you begin so that you can sort of, start bringing and getting your content ready and bringing it all together. One of the other great things that you'll notice is you can actually type directly into the book. So there's no special text, there's no special documents or features to begin typing and creating. It's really just like using any other document. What really makes iBooks Author special, though, are what we call widgets that are located right up over here. Now you'll see there's a variety of widgets for us to choose from. The gallery over here is going to allow you to sort of create a slideshow within your book that users can interact with. You can give them the option to zoom into the images. You have media over here. We have review, which is going to allow you to create these check for understanding points or these multiple choice questions within your book so that students can assess their learning as they go. We can add keynotes into our book, which is a great feature, especially if you're thinking about flipping your classroom. Not only now do you have to just screencast yourself talking over your lectures, you can integrate them into an iBook, create some activities to go on, and really make it a much more interactive user experience. Interactive images are great. Users can point to different parts of an image, and you can set what you want them to see, what you want it to say, what order you want them to tap the image in. 3D allows you to bring in 3D images so that users can interact with those as well. Now, perhaps you don't want pages and pages of text. You have the option to include a scrolling sidebar. And last but not least, we have popovers. Add an image in. When somebody taps on the image, you'll get a little popover, giving them a little bit more detail. Now, if you're thinking, what if I want more? That's what we have this little guy down here for, HTML. And in our next tutorial, we'll show you some different options for integrating an HTML widget. There's many third-party applications that you can use to create even more unique widgets to integrate into your iBooks to create an even more interactive user experience. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of them over here. Over here on this page, you'll see I already have some pop-ups. So if I go ahead and I pop up right over here, this is where I would have inserted my image. And right over here is where I can insert my text. Now you'll notice if I haven't touched it, the pop-up doesn't show. When the user taps on the image, the pop-up will appear. Another great one, like I said, is integrating keynotes into a presentation. Now, one of the things that you'll notice about adding a keynote in is this little guy right over here. So anytime you bring in a Keynote file, it will always ask you whether or not you'd like to show transport controls. I always like setting this on, that way the user can choose if they want to go back and forth in your presentation, just in case they maybe tap too quickly and they don't have to go through the whole thing and start all over again to find where they were. They can easily navigate back and forth. So let's go ahead and try showing you one of these. What I'm going to do is go ahead and add a blank page in here. So I'm going to go up here to the left-hand side where it says Add Pages. And while I'm here, I'll just show you. You can see the different options that I have for when I want to add a chapter or when I want to add a section. Lots of different layout options for me to choose from. Same with pages. For this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and create a blank page. And let's go ahead and bring in a widget. So let's go ahead and bring in a Keynote. This one's always fun. Now you have two options here. This will automatically appear for you, prompting you to choose a Keynote file. Now, like I said, if you have your content all organized from before, one of the nice things that you can do is, say you've got your items on your desktop, you can just go ahead and drag it right in here. So this is a Keynote that I have over here, and I'm just going to drop it in. You'll notice it says Loading Keynote File, and it's going to take a few minutes, and there it is. I can choose to resize my Keynote. You'll notice my transport controls do not automatically appear, so I'm going to go ahead and set those on. Resize it just so that it kind of fits the whole screen. And I also want to get rid of this default text up here. So I'm going to go ahead and, just like I would any other document or any other text, I'm going to resize it and just enter a title. Now, perhaps maybe there's nothing for me to really say on the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that out, and my book is ready to go. It's that easy. Now, when you're ready to go ahead and actually finally export your book when you're all done, very easy again. You're just going to either export it as, you can export it as a PDF, but of course you're going to lose functionality. Otherwise, you're going to go ahead and export as an iBook. One of the things that's nice to do before you decide to export is to preview what it looks like. Now, before you had to preview only on an iPad, but because now we can view iBooks on a Mac, you can now preview it right when you're here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what our preview function is going to look like. So it's going to prepare the book to be viewed. And here's my page. So you can see I can go ahead and I can tap on it. And it's going to guide me through this tutorial about how I can use Book Creator. And that's one of the nice things about redesign learning. You can really pick it up and learn how to use any of these applications that are in here. It's great to use for professional development, great to share with your teachers. And there you go. Perhaps I want to see some of my other pages. I'm just going to swipe through. Here we have another one on the SAMR model. And that's my preview, so I know my book looks good, everything's working, and I'm ready to go ahead and publish.